Good morning and welcome to another episode of Speed Tribe X. Today we are at Safa Holdings Global to make a review of the new or sort of old BMW M850i. Let's go. This is the BMW M850i, and this is BMW's and sort of competitor in the luxury big saloon market. But this isn't a car that is competing indirectly to the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. That is a luxury cruiser. It is a car that you use only for cruising. This car is a lower end competitor to a car like the Aston Martin DB9 or a Maserati Gran Turismo. This is that car from, well, Germany. Today I'm going to take you through all the cool features of this car. So fun. Show you what I like about it. Yes, it works. What I don't like about it, very much uncomfortable. And take you for a driving. You'd probably die or something. And see if this car, being this heavy, being this luxurious, is actually going to drive like an M car. Okay, in terms of the exterior design, I think this is one of the best looking BMWs ever. Because the grille in this car is huge and it's a prominent staple in this car, but it's not too big like some newer BMWs, but it's big enough that it shows, like this is the big boy BMW. And if you notice, the grills are curved because they're sort of aerodynamically active, and when the car needs more cooling, it will open the grills to let air into the 4.4 liter V8. But in terms of front, it's an aggressive design, but it's not too aggressive. I just really like it. It is probably my favorite BMW. And these laser lights in the BMW look really cool when they're on in terms of the daytime running light situation. But that's really cool. And now, if you come around to the side, you can see these awesome 5-spoke rims. These rims are probably one of my most favorite stock rims on any car, because they don't look stock at all. They look like aftermarket no-tech rims or something like that. That is cool. And if we come to the side profile of this car, it's big. It's a huge car, right? It is big. It's 1.8 something tons, but it is a muscular, like big muscular car from BMW. It looks subtle. It's not super aggressive like all the other M cars, but it is subtly nice. Now if we come around to the back, you can see the back of this car has a lot of shapes. In my opinion, it has too many shapes, because you have this thing which is out, and then you have this part, and this part's empty because it's supposed to have a number plate, and this car is for sale. And then you have this part and this part and all that, and then you have these things and this fake grille. You can see that it's fake, but and it also has this lip spoiler, which is like 2 millimeters tall, which probably adds 0.5% of downforce, but I don't know if it completes the look or not, because I don't know how this car would look without it. In the X drive to signify the 4-wheel drive, which you can turn off and have it into 2-wheel drive. And these exhausts are not real. They're actually sort of fake, but they're sort of real, because they have this exhaust around it. But if you come here and take a look inside, you can see that there's actually 2 exhausts. And I think they didn't make this a quad exhaust car because they were reserving that for the M8. Okay, so now we'll pop the hood and see that 4.4 liter V8. So to pop the hood, you come in here and then you pull this latch twice. Then I don't think you have to unlatch it because you pull it twice. Yes. Then you pop the hood and you see this 5.5 liter twin turbo V8 with 523 horsepower and 750 Newton meters. 750 Newton meters is a lot. If you want to see an M4 with 700 Newton meters and 500 horsepower, you should check out my review of the BMW M4. But now back to this car. 4.4 liter V8, which is basically a Ferrari 458 engine with twin turbos on it. The same engine from the BMW M5, a detuned version of the engine of the BMW M8. Now if you come around here, there's not much, but this cover is cool, and that carbon fiber piece is not carbon fiber. That's metal. That's a real metal badge. All this is just your standard plastic. This is metal, but one thing is, this is a huge hood. This is a huge hood. But yeah, that's it for the engine. Let's head to the trunk. So at the trunk, if you want to open it, you just find that little thing, you press it, it's automatic, it pops open, and then the trunk. A huge trunk. I don't know if I should be going in there, but it is huge, and you can also fold the back seats down by pulling this thing here so that you don't have to walk in, and then if you push something, it'll just fall back, which is easier. Pretty much that's it for the trunk. Now let's head on to the interior of this car. We are in the interior of the M850i. What is this bullshit? We're in the interior of the M850i. It is comfortable. This gear lever is quirky in its own way, but this is how you start the car. You push it first one time, prime it. You put your foot on the brake, and then you start the car, and the car starts doing its own shit, because I don't know why, but it just starts doing its own thing. And yeah, first of all, let me turn on the AC. Let's drop these temperatures to normal Malaysian temperature, which is the lowest the car will go. Oh, low. That's more like it. Okay, now back to the gear lever. This crystal is actually made by Swarovski. I think that's how you pronounce it, that jewelry brand. And the 8 inside is lighting up right now, which is really cool, if you can see it. Yep, that's it. And this part is plastic I guess. This part is where most of your controls are, and then your radio. Oh yeah, the gesture functions on the radio. Check this out. Right, it says audio not available, but it is reading the fact that this way is plus the sound, and this way is reduce the sound. Hold on, let's see if we can radio. Okay. That is that is so cool. That's cool. Now if we go back to the home, blah blah blah, car settings, we can go to settings, go to swipey swipe, interior lighting. Now by the way, you can also use this swirl thing to do everything I'm doing, but I just find it easier to use the touchscreen. The color of the mood lighting will now be changed to whatever color you want: blue, white, orange. And if I select orange, you can see the mood lighting in the interior all change to orange or blue, or you know, whatever color. But there's not many colors, but I settled with green because it's the easiest to see in terms of the mood lighting for the car. These seats, these M seats, are very much comfortable in a way that is very nice. It's not as oh, this has automatic steering, so you can adjust it with a push of a button, but it's not as like hardcore like the ones in the M4. That was just brutal. Well, it wasn't super brutal, but it was to the point where a leather seat probably won't get more hardcore than that unless you buy a Ferrari with sports bucket seats or something like that. This has some crazy adjustability. You can adjust the both wing on the side to fit you, and then the car will hug you a lot, which is cool. Which means this seat has a lot of adjustability. You can also adjust this thing for under thigh support. You can pull it out if you have, or if you need under thigh support, and you can push it up, and then oh yeah, that driving position just hits the spot right there. Oh, this is a nice car to be in. And then you have your steering wheel, thick M steering wheel, feels great. You can have your heated steering wheel now activated. I don't know how effective that is, but I do know is it works. The heated steering wheel works. It's okay. Heated steering wheel deactivated. Yeah, you can just always raise and lower the volume and all that with the steering wheel, but I just feel doing this thing is a lot cooler. So anything else in the infotainment that I need to show you? Hold on. Okay, so before I show you the infotainment system, this part opens. There's a USB-C wire and a cigarette lighter. This is also a storage compartment, obviously. And this part is a place for 2 cup holders and a wireless charger, which works. My phone doesn't wireless charge because I'm using an old phone, but I mean, if you support me, I might buy a new phone. So subscribe, Speed Drive X. Now I need a new phone. iPhone 12 is on point. But this feature in the BMW is so fun. I have been playing with it for a while before I filmed this part. Is this 360 camera. Just it's just cool, man. I mean, come on. I think even if you turn the wheel, oh, it doesn't work, but somebody told me it does. But yeah, but you can also do it with the gesture control. Hold on, let's see if it works.
Six and a half hours later.
Yes, it works. It f***ing works. This is cool. The fact that you don't actually have to touch anything and the car is moving. BMW, no, this is a gimmick. This is no way reliable enough for anyone to continuously use it like this. But this is cool. It is 100% a gimmick. Well, it does what gimmicks does. It's fun as hell. Draw your attention to this part of the car. The dome lights don't just switch on. They turn on gradually, and they have this cool pattern in them. I just thought I should point that out. Now this SOS button, this feature is only on BMWs, and it is on every single BMW. Whereas if you push this button, let's say you're in a dark road, you don't know where you are, and you think two people are following you in another car. Yes, you could call the cops, but you don't know where you are. So if the cops, where are you? You don't know where you are. But if you click open this and you push this button, your location, or the car's location, is automatically sent to BMW Malaysia, which will be automatically and directly sent to the authorities, and someone from BMW will be talking to you here and relaying everything to the authorities on real time. This feature is only in BMWs, and if you're buying a car for your daughter or wife, this is something you should think about. In the event of a crash, or if the car detects a collision, it will automatically activate it. So just something to point out that most people don't know. These preset buttons, you can preset them to whatever radio, but let's say you forget what you set them to be, right? You can just glide your finger across, and it'll show you what you had set your buttons on. So when you find whatever you want, you just push it. Well, there's no function now, but you see, that's a very good use of tech. Now in the gauge cluster is a digital gauge cluster. The hood is open, so it's making this running, and there is no 90km speed limit. We're in a dealership. We're in Safa Holdings Global. If you want this car, you can come here, check them out. They have an inventory of insane cars. But now let's hop in the back of the BMW M8. So when you open the door, this interior lighting turns into a blinking light to show oncoming traffic, cyclists, whatever, that the door is open. That is a cool feature, a way to integrate the interior lighting, because in some countries that thing is mandated. I don't know if it's mandated here or not, but I know in some countries it is. Okay, now time to get into the back seats of the BMW M8. So the seat automatically whirs forward pretty fast. Wow. There is no space in the back of this car. Oh. Okay. Oh, wow. This is tight. I think you should come around the other side. I'll pull this seat down for you, and you can come around and see. Okay, so if you see in the back of this car, there is not a lot of room at all. If I'm almost 6 foot tall, so this is very much uncomfortable. Okay, so just now I pulled the thing in the back. If you drop the seat, it comes through here. But yeah, let's see if I can. Oh shit. Oh hell no. No, I'm not sitting in the back of this car, but if you're a kid or anything, you should be just fine. I'm surprised of one thing, that there's no AC in the back of this car, where there is in a BMW M4. I can barely put on things. You also have ISOFIX points here. If you want to and can go through the hassle, if you can fit a child seat in the back of this car, you can do that. Seatbelt buckles, speakers on this, but everywhere is leather. Okay, like you rest your hand here or whatever. This whole place is covered in really nice leather. So is the front, obviously. How about now we take it for a spin? Let's go. Okay, getting out of the back seat is a lot easier said than done. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh, I hope I don't scratch or die or anything. Whoa, that is not the right way to get out of the back seat of any car. But if you can hold on to the door and your door doesn't fall off, you should be fine. Now we can drive it. Good lord. Okay, now driving the BMW M850i, and let's see. The first thing I'm doing on this car is pulling a U-turn. Oh wow, it has rear wheel steering, so that back end is it feels small, and it feels like it has a lot of power. It does not feel slow. It has a lot of power, a lot of grunt. Because in a twin turbo V8, you know, most of the power comes from the V8 and not the turbos. So it's like instant. Just a little bit of your foot down and it's gone. You see? But let's see. In comfort mode, it is a lot. It still has that fast reaction. Even though it's heavy, it doesn't feel. You don't really feel the weight much. But it's still fast. But you know, the suspension softens up. Everything softens up, and it's. Oh wow. Oh wow. I didn't even feel anything. Well, that's good. Just driving it like a normal car, it doesn't feel that big. And contrary to what I thought it would be, it doesn't feel that big. It doesn't feel like, you know, it's a very heavy car. And it takes bumps well. As a GT cruiser, this would do would make most people happy. But I was really wondering if it would satisfy the previous. If you're an M owner, would you be satisfied with this car? I think you would. I think you very much would be, because it's still pinpoint sharp, by the way. It is still sharp. It's as sharp as an M4. It's sharp like a sports car. It doesn't feel like a GT car or anything of that sense. And it has good brakes. Now these are still steel brakes, but they're really good. That's not bad. Not bad at all. That is not bad. Oh, instantly. I did not move my foot, but in Sport Plus it just automatically becomes way more responsive, way more reactive. And this, oh, now you don't feel it as much, but you feel what's happening to the car. You feel the chassis trying to compensate, and you hear those burbles from the V8, which I think is really cool. In my opinion, this is probably my favorite BMW. I've driven a lot of them over the day. Oh, dude, the way the power just kicks in, it's insane. That's why I've always wanted an M4 or any two-door car with the 4.4 liter V8 that's in the M5, but BMW never had that car until now, and I really like it. It is some powerhouse. This is. It's a beast. It is not shy of putting you in your place when you think you got it under control. An M4, you need to get that, boot mod stage 2 tune and get the 500 horsepower, 700 newton meters. This you don't. Unless you really know what you're doing. Oh wow. Wow, it handles the weight of it so well. But you don't need a tune. I am now just, my mind is probably blown because of the fact that there's an 800 horsepower Manhart 2 tune for this car. And I don't know what the hell that will do to this thing. You'd probably die or something. Oh wow. And the steering wheel, oh, heated steering wheel. This steering wheel, it's thick. It is like it's a real, I know a lot of people complain that it's too thick. I don't agree with a lot of people. But now in Sport Plus, the suspension is a bit on the softer side. But I think if you were going for a car that you really want to, track and feel the road and all that stuff, you would probably get, an M8, right? You wouldn't get, oh, it is point and shoot, my friend. Point and shoot pops and bangs. Oh wow, the heated steering wheel is becoming pretty hot for Malaysian weather. It's a nice car. It's a point and shoot car. If you are an M owner, I think you'd be very much satisfied with this car if you're looking for a daily driver that you could still kill other M cars with. Now this is not a full M. Oh wow, the steering on this is just on another level. Oh. But if you're looking for an M car, if you're looking for this car and you're thinking about buying it, you should buy it. That is what I think. Okay guys, as you can see, it is now raining. We just came back from a drive with this car. If you want this car, it's for sale here at Safa Holdings Global, Waze, Google Maps, whatever the hell you use. It's raining. If you were thinking about buying this car, buy it. If you can stretch your budget to 1.5 and buy an M8, buy that. But if you're looking for this car, it's around $800,000 here at Safa Holdings Global. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ciao!